Well, let's see if it'll fit. Well, what do you think? That back in with no mirrors, had kind of pulled them in. It's a fairly tight fit. Could have got over a couple more inches, but I got room here. I got room here to still walk by, pull some boards off the mill, come out this door, whatever. If I do, I will be doing some milling, but I can either go out the front or the back here. So yeah, I think it'll be a good place for the winter. Well, our job today is going to consist of putting the doorknob, yes, if we can, see what we have here. Should work. I think so. I'll just get it open and we'll get at it. Oh, that fits tight. Yeah, I'll get the deadbolt put in there, I guess. Well, put that in. Let's see if it'll. Yeah, that closes nice, and no, that closes. Boy, there's not much room there. It all fits pretty tight. Well, I'm trying to get a broom and sweep the back porch. Nice. A little snowy out there, so we're gonna go and get some things out, put away, all that good stuff. This morning, just let a little review there on that moisture meter. The TESMEN company, they sent me that, and another little tool, the moisture meter. There's lots of little instructions in there. And if you watch the video, it's more than just for wood. You know, I didn't really have time or get a chance to explain everything, but you can check moisture. There's 7 different settings actually on the moisture meter that you know, it's a nice little tool, but it has you can set it for checking concrete that you have, maybe making, drying, that kind of thing. You know, brick makers, that kind of thing. You want your brick to be dry enough you're using it. Different applications. I don't know a lot about the brick and all that kind of stuff, but people that work with it probably do. So that little moisture meter has lots of different options. But the other little tool they sent me, as you know, I do a lot of wiring and solar and all that kind of good stuff here at the homestead. Working on the cabin, always changing things. And this little tool is so handy if you're checking for power. I'm going to show you here in a minute. Yeah, I don't have great lighting in my battery room here. It's a little dark, but it doesn't matter if it's dark. If you can find your way in with this little tool I have, and just if you have a problem somewhere in your wiring or you're checking for power, all you have to do is put it close to any wires. We start getting a red blinking light. Any wires that have power coming through them, we have a red blinking light. This is from the inverter to the batteries. You can take, this is just a small control wire that runs up here to an on-off switch. And if I put this close to that, that's only 12 volt coming through, and automatically we get a red light. It reads off power here. Now, using this TESMEN voltage tester, you can put it up to a wire. You can see this wire here. It stays green. This wire is plugged in, but that goes to my generator. So there is no power coming through that. If we go down here to power coming in from the solar panels, and you're not sure if you got something unhooked, you put your meter close to it. Depending on the amount of power, you have to touch it, but just putting it close, you have power. All these wires have power. This is just coming in here on my cabling from my batteries. Between batteries, it starts beeping. You have power. So if you're off grid or doing any kind of wiring, whether you're an electrician or not electrician, you know, people make mistakes. And so if you're just not quite sure, then take your meter, put it up to a plug. There's a narrow tip on the end of it, and you can put it up to a plug, poke it by the hole, and it'll tell you whether you have power at that plug. So there's lots of different ways, just instructions there, show you how, tells you different ways of using it, tells you how many, what the percentage is, if it's higher power or if it's lower power. Great little tool. Every homestead should have one. So we'll just go check some other things here in the shop. Yeah, I'll get the fire going in the shop. It was just about out. Get that going for the day. I don't try to keep it really warm in here unless I have to work in here, just keep enough. So my battery room in the house, when I wired everything in, I also wired that light that I have in there is wired directly 12 volt. So if my power should go down for some reason, something goes wrong or inverter craps out or something like that, I still have some light to see with. In the shop, this light to the door, and I have one on the outside. They're small little corn LEDs, and so they're 12 volt power. And so even with this tester, when I'm checking, you know, if I have any kind of power, you can see this is just 12 volt power. It draws very little, but it still gives us an indication that we have power, or we could have a problem, or you know, you ought to unhook things. A little dark over here, but see if I can get a light on. That's a little better. Ernie, are you going to be camera shy today? Ernie. Oh, you're usually camera shy. This guy's, but they come up here. Yes, Bert, I know. I scratched your brother first. Come here. No, my puppy's jealous. My puppy gets very jealous. Yeah, I know. I scratched you already this morning. Yeah. So I have my battery set up here. Again, you know, hooking things up to a charge controller, hooking things up to an inverter, all that kind of thing. Checking, you know, make sure you got a good connection between your batteries and stuff. There's power. It's red. I mean, that's just 12 volt. And it works with 120 or 12 volts. So if I come up here to the white cord, this is plugged into the inverter. So there's no power draw going through it right now. There we go. So you just got to move it. It's very low draw because this goes to my freezer, and it's probably not running right now, but there's still power in that cord. So it goes through these ones here. Of course, this is the ground. This is your live, and you'll get a red flash on either one if there's power connected. So I'd like to thank TESMEN for sending me these little tools. They have lots of electronic tools for checking wiring, other things like that. It's just electronic devices. Some of them we need, some of them we don't, but having something like this little tool to work a little safer around doing wiring and playing with things like I do at the homestead here. So I'd like to thank TESMEN for sending it to me, and the moisture meter as well. Awesome little tools. If you guys want one of these, or you think about having something like this, if you don't have, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can check it out. They're very inexpensive, and I've just done a lot of, being careful what I do. In the past, I got lit up a couple of times. Got once with 240. Hard to let go. If there isn't someone there to unplug, you're in trouble. I was lucky, and it burns the fingers a little. So, got to be careful, guys. And I just being more careful. Never had one of these meters or any kind of a meter for testing. Always just make sure that when I'm hooking stuff up, that the source of power is disconnected at the other end. When I'm playing with solar, I make sure that my panel system is unhooked, so there is no power coming down. Then I can work on inverters, charge controller, anything like that, changing wires, adding batteries, or taking batteries out of the system. So if you don't want to, take the route of unhooking everything, there is other steps that you can do, and just check the power. And great little tools. So great little instructions in more than one language, and they're very simple. Turn it on, push the button, read it, and there's a few different settings. There's a little also on here. If it's dark and where you're going is dark, you want to check on something. I just about forgot, but there's a button, and if you just push it and hold it for a minute, we should get a flashlight in. So here you can kind of see it's not a big flashlight, but it's pretty bright. There's two AA batteries in here to run it, and so yes, find your way in the dark. If you can find your tool, keep your tool handy, then you can get in and get the work done that you need, or just to be safe. So hope you enjoyed. All right, it is a windy day. The flag is flying pretty hard. Oh, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me, Miss Ginger? Yeah, I know. You like your house when it's windy. Not very cold, only about -5 Celsius, but it is nasty wind. Oh, a little leftover moose burger I cooked up. We're going to just warm it up. It's lunchtime. Oh, let's just turn that down, put a lid on it. Oh, love them cheese buns. Love them cheese buns. A little of that butter. Gotta have a little of that butter. Billy's growling. Time to have lunch. Wow. We gotta add a little bit of that. And you know what's going to happen. Oh. That is looking nice. Moose burger egg patty. Oh, it fits that bun perfectly. Well, I'm going to just enjoy. A little warm, but boy, that is delicious. Well, a little snowed in. Well, we can't help it. It's that time of year. But ATV's got to get put away. We were minus 12 last night, minus 15 the night before, Celsius. So it's cooling off, and we'll be bringing out the other tools for the winter, and we're going to put this girl away for winter, and hopefully it all starts and runs good in the spring. Well, good morning. Yeah, we're going to have a snow day. I think it's just about time to get the sled out. Yeah, we got a couple inches. 2.5, nice fresh stuff. But I have to go to town. Should have done it yesterday. So we're going to get out of the garage and see how the roads are. I'd like to get rid of some of this just so it don't pack down in front of the garage. It's not fancy, but when you're off grid, garage is a must. Just keep the car clean, keep it warm, no need to use a block heater. Been doing it for 11 years. Yes, it's going to be a snowy ride.
like the snow is stopped for now. We've got about 3 inches out of that, so we got 3-4 inches on the ground now. Time to make my way home.